Today is May 16th, 2020. We're still in the coronavirus shutdown, the Great Depression 3.0. Since we had the Long Depression in 1873, the Great Depression, and now the Third Great Depression in America. So it's 9:39, Saturday, May 16th, 2020. I'm going to do the scientific events before the political events because science, the revolutions that happen in science have longer lasting impact in the world than many, if not most, political revolutions. So what happened on May 16th? In 1862, Jean-Joseph Étienne Lenoir builds the first automobile. He had built the first commercially successful internal combustion engine. He's a Belgian inventor. He used his internal combustion engine, put it into an automobile, put it into a boat. He also had converted a double-acting steam engine with slide valves to admit the air-fuel mixture and to discharge exhaust products. It's a two-stroke cycle engine, used a mixture of coal, gas, and air. It was only 4% efficient, but it was smooth running and a durable machine. Most of the machines were still in great condition after the end of the owner's lives. He also invented the electric brake for trains in 1855. Like I said, with the motorboat, put in his internal combustion engine into a motorboat, 1886. He also had a method of tanning leather with ozone. So I guess ozone's the actual thing, and he was able to tan leather with it. In 1985, Michael Jordan was named the NBA Rookie of the Year. 1985. So Jordan was a rookie at one time, but he was the Rookie of the Year, so he was always number one as soon as he entered into the arena. What else happened on May 16th? Well, 1958. Major Walt Wayne Irwin, the United States Air Force cadet or soldier, flies a Lockheed Starfighter F-104A to a record of 1,404.18 miles per hour. Over 1,404 miles per hour. That's how fast Walt Wayne Irwin went in the F-104. They called the Lockheed Starfighter F-104 a missile with a man in it. They also called it the Widowmaker and the Mach 2 mistake because the max airspeed of the Lockheed Starfighter F-104 was Mach 2.2. And that was helped by shockwave propagation in the air intakes by the thermal limitations of the aluminum alloy from which the airframe was constructed and the amount of stress that canopy attachment points could take. Airframe built of titanium, 15-pound engine, GEJ79 engine, and it had an ejector seat that shot the pilot out of the bottom of the aircraft. So they pushed the boundaries to make it go fast and to make it climb as much speed. So they did a lot of novel inventions, but they also had an ejector seat that would throw pilots out if they just began, if they were too close to the ground, and just slam the pilot into the ground, killing them. So that was the most controversial feature of the F-104 Lockheed Starfighter. But in 1958, Major Walt Wayne Irwin wasn't afraid of the ejector seat that would shoot him bottom, that would shoot him down from the airplane. He got in the Lockheed Starfighter F-104, and he flew a record up. 1,404 miles per hour. 55 miles per hour is the limit on the highways. Some have 60, 70, but not 1,404 miles per hour. It makes you think about what happens to the body going at that speed. I mean, that's more than 14 times going 100 miles an hour. So 14 times 100 miles an hour, that's how fast Walt Wayne Irwin went in 1958, May 16th. May 16th, 2013, human stem cells are successfully cloned. So we're going to start seeing clones of humans soon. 1888, Nikola Tesla lectures about alternating current, AC, which is his brainchild, kind of his biggest invention of his notoriety. In 1869, the Venera 5, a Soviet space probe, lands on Venus. This is when we actually explored space, right? 1969, Venera 5, a Soviet space probe, lands on Venus and returns data on the atmosphere back to the Earthlings. 2019, new DNA research shows bed bugs are older than humans by 115 million years, and they outlived dinosaurs. Bed bugs have been here longer than humans and dinosaurs. This is published in Current Biology, 2019. Brand New Science, 1990, Eugene Stoner and Mikhail Kalashnikov, creators of the M16 and AK-47, meet up for some high-profile publicity. 1960, Theodore Maitland operates the first optical laser, a ruby laser, at Hughes Research Laboratories in Malibu, California. 1891, the International Electrotechnical Exhibition opens in Frankfurt, and the world's first long-distance transmission of power using the three-phase electric current that they use today had happened. So, 1891 International Electrotechnical Exhibition in Frankfurt, Germany. Some notable scientific births. 1831, David Edward Hughes is born. He's a Welsh-American physicist. He co-invented the microphone. So those who like to use microphones, you need to thank David Edward Hughes for helping to invent it. 1763, May 16th, Louis Nicolas Vauquelin is born. French pharmacist and chemist, discovered new metals, chromium and beryllium. So Vauquelin, Louis Nicolas Vauquelin, born 1763. 1950, J. George Ben-Dors, it's a German physicist, born. He's going to win the 1987 Nobel Prize for Physics with Carl Alex Moore for their joint discovery of superconductivity in certain substances. They proved superconductivity at temperatures higher than previously thought possible. That's J. George Ben-Dors, born May 16, 1950. So let's look at some of the political revolutions of May 16th. In 1860, in Chicago, the Republican Convention, they selected Abraham Lincoln as their candidate, changing all of America. So the Republican Convention, 1860, Chicago, picks Abraham Lincoln as a dark horse candidate. It was not clear that Abraham Lincoln was going to win this convention. 1966, Stokely Carmichael, he's going to be named the chairman of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. Stokely Carmichael's a badass. 1966, May 16th, is when he gets the official power of being the chair of the SNCC. 1984, Prince releases When Doves Cry. When doves cry, when doves cry. 1984, Guinea-Bissau adopts the Constitution. The language is written in Portuguese. The popular National Assembly is going to take credit. They're going to institute the party in the preamble of their Constitution as the vanguard. They purport to be for democracy. They say they want national sovereignty. It's invested in the people. They believe that the people have direct people power or through the democratic organs. So it's all democracy. The state and the religion are separate. This is all in the Constitution of Guinea-Bissau, Cape Verde, right? Guinea and Cape Verde. Direct people power, right? So the Universal Declaration of Human Rights is included in it, so there's more freedoms in the Constitution of Guinea-Bissau than the U.S. Constitution. Martial law can only result in the partial suspension of rights, liberties, and guarantees only temporarily. So even if there was martial law, they still have all those rights, freedoms, guarantees. All have a right to the judicial branch. Death penalty is banned in Guinea-Bissau. Bissau. Right to information and judicial protection is written: no torture nor cruel, degrading, demeaning, inhumane treatment or forced labor. Habeas corpus rights. Workers have a right to form a union in Guinea-Bissau, protected by their constitution, their 1984 constitution. Entrance into homes without consent can only happen if a judicial authority authorizes it. The president is the head of state and the head of the armed forces, and political parties have a right to airtime on TV and radio. 1955, Rocky Marciano beats Don Cockle TKO in the 9th round. Heavyweight boxing champion of the world, Rocky Marciano, in 1955, May 16th. May 16th, 1975, Muhammad Ali TKO's Ron Lyle in 11 rounds for the heavyweight boxing title. In 1977, Muhammad Ali beats Alfredo Evangelist in 15 rounds for the heavyweight boxing title. 1771, you had the Battle of Alamansi. It's a pre-U.S. revolutionary battle between the local militia and a group of rebels called the Regulators. It's in the Carolinas, North Carolinas, I believe. So there was a pre-revolutionary war before the revolution at the Battle of Alamansi, 1771, May 16th. May 16th, 1965, the SpaghettiOs is going to be introduced. You're going to be introduced, America, to SpaghettiOs by the Campbell Soup Company. 1834, the last decisive battle of the liberal wars in Portugal happens at the Battle of Acieira. So at the Battle of Acieira, the liberals win. In 1834, the last decisive battle of the liberal wars in Portugal. The royalists, they wanted to keep their kings and queens, but the liberals who wanted the Constitution are going to win out in Portugal. And then they're going to decriminalize all drugs. So Portugal turned out to be very progressive in the long run. So let's thank the 1834 ancestors of Portugal for that. Some celebrity birthdays: Danny Trejo, right? Machete. Danny Trejo is born May 16th. Megan Fox, Pierce Brosnan, Janet Jackson, Adam Richman, Liberace. Henry Fonda was born in 1905. Henry Fonda was in The Grapes of Wrath. 1909, Luigi Villoresi was an Italian race car driver. He was born also. And then a shit ton of scientists' birthdays. 1606, John Balwar. 1641, Dudley North. 1718, Maria Gaetana Agnesi. 1804, Elizabeth Palmer Peabody. 1819, Johann Voldemar Janssen. 1821, Pafnuty Chebyshev. It's a Russian mathematician, and a whole bunch of architects and bankers, and a lepidopterist, and then an endocrinologist, also an ichthyologist, an ichthyologist, and also an Israeli entomologist. So a lot of people, a lot of scientists just making up scientific subjects to study and try to confuse the general population. So other things that happened, but those are the ones that I think are the most important. Kuwait is going to allow women to vote, which is progressive, but that happened in 2005. Jack Benny wins an Emmy. He had a big show, and, a lot of people, but it seems like if you're not focused on TV, nobody mentions Jack Benny. Thomas More resigns as the Lord Chancellor of England, 1532. So is that good? I mean, Lord Chancellor, he was the Lord Chancellor, but he resigns it, so is that like dissolution? Oregon Trail pioneers begin in 1842, so just a lot of Howard Stern, Top Gun with Tom Cruise premieres, Weird Al performs live on stage, the 72nd National Orange Show in 1987. MASH wins the Grand Prix prize at the 23rd Cannes Film Festival in 1970. In 2019, the 24th Democrat to announce his president is run for the presidency. Bill de Blasio announces his campaign running as a Democrat. Florence becomes a republic. Protestant German monarch surrenders to Karel in Wittenberg. 1792, Denmark abolishes the slave trade. So those are some scientific and historical events for May 16th. Honestly, how could today be a bad day when you know that Muhammad Ali got to be the world reigning champion 75 and 77 today, which is nearly 20 years, exactly 20 years after Rocky Marciano becomes the heavyweight boxing champ of the world. Guinea-Bissau adopts their brand new constitution. Prince releases When Doves Cry, 1984, both in 1984. So Guinea-Bissau was like, we need a constitution. Listen to this song by Prince, When Doves Cry. We need a new constitution. Stokely Carmichael, you see him with the SNCC. Abraham Lincoln, you see him enter the historical record. Chicago Republican Convention, 1860. The man who co-invented the microphone, chromium and beryllium, the man who discovered those metals, and a physicist who had some superconductivity experiments at temperatures higher than previously thought possible. So all those people, right? And then the automobile was invented today. The automobile was invented. Walt Wayne Irwin flies over 1,404 miles per hour in the Lockheed Starfighter F-104. Michael Jordan named NBA Rookie of the Year, May 16th, 1985. Human stem cells are cloned. Nikola Tesla was lecturing about alternating current in 1888. Venera 5. Soviet space probe lands on Venus, returns data on the atmosphere of Venus. Bed bugs are older than humans and dinosaurs. We're finding out in current biology. The creators of the M16 AK-47, they meet up. Theodore Maitland operates the first optical laser, aka Ruby laser, at the Hughes Research Laboratories in Malibu, California. International Electrotechnical Exhibition opens in Frankfurt, 1891. How can you be sad today? We're cloning humans. We're getting on alternating current by Tesla. We got Venera 5. We're discovering shit from Venus. We're finding out bed bugs are older than everybody. My God, Michael Jordan, Walt Wayne Irwin, 1,404 miles per hour. The invention of the internal combustion engine. The first automobile by the Belgian inventor Jean-Joseph Etienne Lenoir. How can you be sad today? How can you be sad today knowing that all that happened on May 16th throughout the years? Huh? How can you be unhappy? Peace.